found this and I wanted to share. Let me hear some wrestling hot takes. And nothing like CM Punk should be world champion. I'm talking hot. So let's go through a few of the hot takes I found in the comment section of this video. Kenny Omega refusing to go to WWE would prevent him from ever being considered a great. And I kind of have to agree. Yes, you can have a phenomenal wrestling career in every other wrestling promotion in the planet. However, the fact that you never managed to get to the WWE, doesn't matter who you are, will always be a stain on some people's perception of your greatness as a wrestler. People like Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay are not like AJ Styles. AJ Styles has shown on multiple promotions that he's willing to adapt to the style of wrestling depending on the promotion. Ospreay and Omega are the type of people to stick to one style of wrestling even at the expense of their own health. And they know if they go to WWE, they'll have to change up their style. If Chris Benoit did not do what he did, he'd be considered greater than Eddie Guerrero. That is a hot take. Because I need to remind you guys that to this day, Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero are still the only two best friends to share a moment at the main event of WrestleMania where both of them are holding World Championship gold. And that has never been replicated ever since. Looking back at that image, it makes you genuinely wonder if Eddie Guerrero didn't die and Chris Benoit ended up doing what he did, how would their careers would have looked out? The only reason Bo Dallas has a career is because his brother died and he knows it. That's why he's slowly turning into Bray, because if he were himself, no one would care. And I kind of have to both disagree and slightly agree. Yes, Bo Dallas ever since joining the main roster hasn't been properly presented well enough for people to actually care. But he has shown a few times that he is capable of making people care about his character when applied right. Look at his original NXT character, look at his run with Curtis Axel as part of the B Team as a comedy group, and now look at his run as Uncle Howdy. People are praising his Uncle Howdy character, which shows that with the right material, Bo Dallas can work. However, yes, it does feel like Bo Dallas is only around in the WWE to carry on Bray Wyatt's vision and not make his own. Worst thing to ever happen to wrestling was letting fans behind the curtain to learn the behind the scenes and wrestling terminologies. Now everyone thinks they know everything. I agree with that, and let me add one more thing. The other worst thing to happen to wrestling is dirt sheets. People that somehow get all these information literally minutes before the actual thing happens right in front of you. I hate it when I scroll into social media and then see a report saying that this specific superstar is going to show up on this specific episode of Raw or SmackDown. And then I'm like, damn it, man, I wanted to be surprised when that happens. Now I know it's going to happen. Which is partly the reason as to why I've been avoiding a lot of the dirt sheet spaces like Twitter. Because now the only times I even hear about anything that has to do with WWE reports wise is when I scroll through it on Instagram or TikTok. CM Punk and Paul Heyman could book circles around Triple H. They just wouldn't accept the politics of being the head of the company. When it comes to Paul Heyman, I 1000% agree that he's a better booker than Triple H currently. Look what he did with ECW. The only reason why that stopped is because he ran out of money. Look what he did with the SmackDown 6 during the Ruthless Aggression era. Hell, look at what Paul Heyman managed to do for Roman Reigns' career in just the past 5 years alone. I personally vouch for Triple H to solely focus on Monday Night Raw while Paul Heyman takes the entire creative reins of SmackDown. As for CM Punk, I'm not sure when it comes to his booking because I've yet to experience what a CM Punk booked show would look like. But yeah, those are some of the hot takes that I saw in the comment section. Feel free to drop one in this video, but try not to comment anything obvious like The Miz is the most underrated talent on the company. I've saw a lot of those very obvious type of hot takes in the comment section.